Hi guys. When do you think you're gonna die? Me personally, I can't see myself living past 40. I'll always assume that I'll die in some unforeseen way like a workplace accident or getting T-boned on the highway. Or, just maybe, I'll get cornered in a dark alleyway by a witch doctor from 14th century France that'll hit me with an upcasted finger of death. Really, anything's possible. For those of you outside the secure, contain, protect loop, I'm referring to the guy on the right of this thumbnail. And for those of you who nag to me constantly about not having enough pictures in my videos, I'll throw in another one just in case. In the SCP universe, this guy is a Euclid class anomaly with the given cattle number of SCP-049. But all the cool doctors call him the Plague Doctor. This guy's pretty simple to understand. He touches your any skin with his finger skin, you die. But not really. Much like Finger of Death, quote, a humanoid killed by this spell rises at the start of your next turn as a zombie that is permanently under your command. You basically lose all sense of self and security, save for any basic motor functions, like walking, or groaning, or hitting the whoa. You know, zombie things. When this happens, for some reason, everyone you ever loved or at the very least knew stops giving a shit about you and starts pretending like you never existed. It's the damnedest thing. Then, you're given the designation of SCP-049-2, so you're always reminded of the man who ruined your life. Is what I would say if memory was also a basic motor skill. He does this because he believes that life is a pestilence that needs to be disintegrated. Why? Fuck you, that's why! Is there any way to undo this pestilence? You wish. Is there anything we can do? We're gonna deploy his ass in Baltimore and let him go hog wild. And if there's ever a Purge movie that has at least some resemblance to this video idea, I demand a 20% royalty in compensation. That's the whole point of this video. I'm gonna power scale this guy to see if he can take over the city of Baltimore. Shower thoughts aren't fun if you're the only one experiencing them. First things first, we gotta find a place to deploy this guy. This is important because the chances of him getting pumped full of lead is significantly higher if we put him in a more populated area. Also, the Plague Doctor is more of an elusive type anyway, so it wouldn't make sense for him to put him in, like, downtown anyway. We could start in some residential area up towards the north, like Mount Washington. Or... Alright, I know it's a few miles out of the way, but E6 is too funny of an option for me to pass up. And with the way it's formatted, it even looks like E6 was handed to me on a silver platter. There's a very good reason why I'm called Mr. Chanier and not Dr. Chanier. Yeah. So, the Plague Doctor starts his infection invasion in E6, Maryland. Any and all instances of SCP-049-2 cannot infect other people. And that's what's making this so interesting. This ain't your grandma's zombie land. We only got one source of infection for this apocalypse. And according to the US Census Bureau, Baltimore has a population of 568,271 and counting as of 2024. Thankfully, we don't need to infect everybody to commandeer a city. Bodies are just as good as zombies in this scenario. Instances of 049-2 are dangerous though. They're like Enderman dangerous. The Plague Doctor can direct these zombies to do all sorts of things, like bludgeon people to death. And as a cherry on top, they'll attack you naturally if provoked. 6.1% of all people in Baltimore are at or under the age of 5. And it's kind of a no-brainer that zombies no-diff children. Here's where things are going to get interesting. Let's talk about Maryland's gun laws and options for defense. Unlike their Big Daddy, instances of 049-2 are not immortal. Though they have high pain tolerances, a Mossberg is going to be more than enough to put one of these things down. The issue comes with the pansy senators who decided to prioritize human life over snazzy firearms. This decision is literally going to come back and bite them in the ass. Assault rifles, sawed-off anythings, detachable mags over 10 rounds, and street sweepers are all banned in the state of Maryland. And considering the urban setting of Baltimore, I think it's highly unlikely that a large portion of the population goes hunting. 30-06 would have been useful here, but the young thugs of these Baltimore streets are going to have to make do with 9mm. But what if, I don't know, the military shows up? I hear all of 2 people pondering to themselves. The Plague Doctor was smart enough to do brain surgery on himself, so he's about as smart as 10 Einsteins. Let's say for the sake of this video that he found a way to minimize all outside communication. If you need more proof on how smart this guy is, he found a way to survive falling from the moon to Earth while falling from the moon to Earth. SCP lore is fucking weird, man. To paint a picture for you, he starts from the outskirts of Baltimore and forms a perimeter of zombies. He then uses that to perform a pincer maneuver on Baltimore, going from the outside inwards. He and his zombies don't require sleep or food, so he can take as much time as needed to prepare for his invasion. Even with the collective armory of the people and police, it's very likely that the Plague Doctor will make a big push with, let's say, at least 100,000 zombies under his control.
But how can he hide all those zombies?
Fentanyl's considered a health crisis for a reason, and they're called fent zombies for a reason. Don't believe me? Go to any urban area. I saw at least 12 behind a gas station in Atlanta, and I was only there for a few days. Collective, I probably saw 20 in that short amount of time alone. You can hide some zombies in Baltimore. To add salt to this ever-worsening wound, the Plague Doctor also has regenerative feats, and has survived getting shot multiple times, and has seemingly 0 pain receptors. If he's not pulling surgical implements out of his Mary Poppins bag, he is literally pulling hacksaws out of his ass. More specifically, his liver. With how smart and durable this maniac is, the city of Baltimore stands no chance. He's just smarter, faster, stronger, better. He is better than what Baltimore has to offer. I'd give him a week tops to take over the city. Even if he does take a slug to the cranium, he's immortal. And that's assuming he let himself get into that position in the first place. TLDR, the Plague Doctor is a badass motherfucker who can make the collective entity of Baltimore his bitch. I got all my points from the Versus Battle Wiki and the United States Census Bureau. Am I gonna link them? Hell no. Mentioning my sources is good enough for my writing professor, so it's good enough for you. Stay safe, eat cake, and I'll see you later.